All right, welcome guys to our monthly AMA with Bjorn. Excited to have everybody with us here. Bjorn, how you doing this evening? Welcome to Valhalla Crypto and the stream, sir. We're glad to have you.
Happy to be back. Was really fun last time, and I'm very well, thank you. I'm not glad this week is over. It has been a fun and busy week with a lot of things happening, and it usually does at Shido Finance. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week.
Yes, yeah, next week leads us into November, and I know you've got some crazy bombs dropping in November. Man, do we have a wild ride all the way through December into 2023, and it's just going to be an amazing experience. Tonight for the viewers, this is Bjorn. This is his time to shine and talk about everything that's gone through in October leading to November. So me and Arno are going to mute our mics. We're going to give Bjorn the platform. At the end, towards the end of this year, we have a couple questions for him, and then we will, of course, answer any community questions. So if you have those questions, let's get those going in the chat. Shido Queen is in chat moderating, so please keep the chat appropriate to what we are talking about this evening, and we will ensure that everything get answered. With that, Bjorn, you have the mic and the platform, sir.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I've been on this show before. But anyways, there could be some people that don't know us, and I am the CEO and founder of Shido Finance. We're a DeFi project deployed on, we have token on BSC and Ethereum. And right now, this autumn, a lot of things happening because we have many launches, and we launched Shido Wallet end of September. And according to roadmap and our plan, basically October was kind of the month that the least would happen because we hadn't set really any big launch or anything like that. But despite that, there's been a lot of things going on constantly, basically. Yeah, Google Play came late, so we got Shido Wallet on Google Play in October, and then we also got one update out on Shido Wallet, and now the second update just hits at any moment, and there's a lot of changes in that update. So I'm just hope it comes out now in a minute. I thought Shido Wallet would hit App Store this week, but I checked with them, and it looks like after the weekend now it should actually come. So that is crazy good. But we did a lot of things we hadn't really planned in advance. What's crazy bullish, we burned actually 3% of the circulating supply. And that is not a small number, because when I see other projects boost around about their burns and things like that, it's like, hey, 0.2%, 0.1%, but 3%, that's another league. And we burned a lot of tokens. And we did it because volume really picked up, and then we started to accumulate many tokens because we were fairly low MC, so then we get a lot of tokens. And as I promised, that is not something we dump on retailers or anything like that. We burn them because we didn't need any funds at the moment. We had that covered and set up, and we have managed our financial very carefully and really well. So that we did, and that was very appreciated, and we're going to continue to burn also, definitely. So there will come another quite big burn again. I'm not sure next week. I won't promise, but soon, at least. It will be soon. what else happened in October? If I look back, I mean, this week was quite busy in promotional sense. It was I have been fronting the project a lot more, being out there on AMAs. And we can see that we are getting a lot of views. We have, our socials has stand still. Twitter is around 36, 37K. But what we can see, there's a lot of bots getting deleted, and then it's actually real people coming into it. So when you can see on the interactions on our posts, it's tenfold that it was 4 weeks ago. It's we are the retweets and likes and comments and all that is just tenfold. So it has really picked up, and I can see that in the Telegram chat. Also, when I wake up in the morning, it's not 50 missed messages anymore. It's more in the thousand.
Yeah, it really is. 500, 1,000 plus. So just to throw into that, when you talk about the social media, I know I get up and I'll look at mine in the morning and I'm like 2,500 messages in Shido chat. Like, what was happening all night, right?
Well, yeah, and I
Um,
really I love it. I love it, and then there is rarely any. It's very rare that it's any fighting and things like that. It's usually healthy discussions and very positive vibes in general, and it's really vibrant. So I'm so happy about it.
yeah,
If
we have a great mod community, and shout out to all of the mods in Shadow. They do a wonderful job, and we've got mods here on the U.S. and over on the European side that monitor that chat pretty much 24/7, and I feel like everyone does a great job. So I will say a huge shout out to the moderators in there and the admins. But no, October, you might not have felt like you had a lot of bombs to drop, but I will tell you, for the investor standpoint, October was crazy because one thing, Bjorn, that everyone in this community will absolutely back 100% is that when you say you do something, you do it. And there's no hesitation. There's no, oh, I need to delay it here. Half the time, what you say you're going to do, you do earlier than you said you were initially going to do it. And it seems like it's always a surprise because we don't know what's coming next. And I think that's part of really the excitement with Shido is, you're building a financial ecosystem that is going to answer all the solutions for both the most novice and most experienced DeFi trader in crypto. And we're doing it in a way that is completely innovative to the DeFi space.
Yeah, definitely. And the first thing you said, we we do things pretty, because we did, we launched on Baby Do Swap, bang. We launched on, we partnered up with SafeMoon, bang. This is, this is things we just, we act on opportunities and make it happen fairly fast, and have these, announcements just coming. And then we got Hosse Digital on board now, which is a very experienced team and really good people, and they are door openers, and people don't realize how good this is, because for instance, now the new partner we're working with regarding Shido card, Hosse Digital fixed it in, I mean, it took them 10 minutes, and I have tried to get a hold of that partner myself prior to that with no answer. And that partner is so big that with our volume and our MC, if I would explain to them what I want, they will just hang up. But when you have certain people you work with and vouching for you, it's hard to understand how that can be absolutely crucial. So we just announced that partnership, and we contract with them, and I'm crazy happy about that also. So some people say like, yeah, this seems like everything falling on your lap, Bjorn, but yeah, maybe, but we work very hard also. So we make things happen ourselves. It's not like it's just luck or anything.
Well,
So
and it speaks to one thing, because we're going to dive into the Binance AMA, the Binance Live AMA, because I know that's what there's a ton of questions that we really want you to go in depth on tonight on that. And there's one thing that you said on there is, I got into crypto. I believe you said 2018. Was that correct?
Yeah, slightly over 3 years ago.
Yeah. And you got into it as a trader, and then you immediately started getting into the development side and working with projects before you started developing Shido. And then you were developing this on the back end before you took it live, which really speaks to the dedication and the drive you have to make this ecosystem actually fully functional and complete. You've been working on this for X amount of time before you actually brought it to the forefront of initial investors. Which I thought it was really cool when you mentioned that on the live with Binance, is really going into your history and the experience you have, what you've done prior to entering crypto and how you've taken that and actually utilized that to become better at crypto and being a developer in the DeFi space, which is huge to know that you have that plethora of experience while directly handling the project.
Yeah, and I'm a very logical person. So when I was gonna launch, I didn't just launch, and then there is, because some projects they just launch. There's not even a website, But but I am like, okay, when I'm gonna launch, I'm gonna give myself the absolutely best possibilities to succeed. So I worked like 5 months or something. I just worked setting everything up before there was time to launch, and people said, on Binance Smart Trade, they were like, I have never seen a stealth launch that is this prepared, because I had everything in order. And but that's the way I am. I took it very, very seriously, and I had a big vision already from day one. So yeah, and from there we have just kept working.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like we've covered October pretty well of what we've had going on. We know we've got the Visa MasterCard integration for Visa for European, MasterCard for US is what I believe I heard you say. And we have that coming here very soon. I know Arno's chomping at the bits to get into the Binance Live AMA. So Arno, I'm going to have you unmute your mic. And I know you got a couple questions for Bjorn that you're really wanting to dive into. I'm going to let you touch on those. And then I've got a couple on the blockchain and on the incubator system that you talked about that I really want you to dive into as well tonight.
Yeah.
So,
and first Arno comes on, I just want to say, because I said, like, okay, we have started the work on the decentralized exchange, and I made sure in the workflow that the first milestone would be the user interface. But I know that can take like 5-6 weeks to get together, and we basically got the whole user interface together in like 13-14 days or something, and then we could start pushing out screenshots how it would look. And that for me was a really huge and important thing that we kept pounding now in October. So that I almost forgot, and I'm very happy about that also. Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
100%. Your timeliness is part of why everyone is so impressed with how you handle it, Bjorn. Arno, go ahead, sir. You got the mic.
Thank you, Valhalla. How you doing, Bjorn?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Arno?
I'm doing great, man. Fantastic. What I want to ask you first is about the big announcement from yesterday about, as you already know, Shido chain and when and everything that has to do with that. I just got done reading the web link that you posted in Shido chat, and the thing that bounced out to me and popped out in my eyes was Shido Bridge. If you can go into a little detail about what that is and what that's going to figure into the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, that's super important, and basically most blockchains have some kind of bridge. It's hard, otherwise you're quite lonely. But it's, for instance, you can bridge over any token to Shido chain. So, but let's hypothetically say you have one Ethereum on Ethereum, of course, And then you can bridge it over to Shido chain as wrapped Ethereum, pegged to the original token, and you can use it on Shido chain. And the only thing you have to pay, so you mint that wrapped token on Shido chain, and the only thing you have to pay is the initial gas fee that Ethereum will charge you, but we won't charge you anything because we want you over. And if you want to take that token back again, then you can unwrap it, and it comes back as your original token. So that is that. So that bridge is basically, it has the whole point is it has a minting function. So you will be able to freely mint the tokens you already have on other chains onto Shido chain. So it's a super important bridge that enables you to do that, and it will drive adoption people over, and it will be no development skills needed and a user-friendly interface. So it's just you can just hop on board Shido chain without a problem, and so that is how the bridge will work.
Great. That's what I was hoping to hear, because one of the biggest issues in crypto right now is scalability and the ability to develop fairly easily, especially when you're coming into an ecosystem that's already been congested with previous projects. What I'm interested to see is what will be the transactions per second, if you can shed some light on that. And is there going to be any type of burn rate in the DEX or in the Shido chain ecosystem against all transactions?
We have talked about it, actually. I was sitting and talking to Hans there at House of Digital that we would love to implement a burn on every transaction, basically. And that is something we can do, but we haven't decided yet if we're going to do it. But it's something we can do and that we are discussing. But regarding the DEX, that's decided upon already, and it's already set in motion with the developers that we will have a burn in the decentralized exchange. What I love, when we're launching the chain, is that we will have, major flagship products up on the launch, because we will have a major flagship exchange, wallet, and all that will be the go-to place on Shido chain, because you can see some chains launching, but then there's basically nothing on them, and then there are things that's gonna get built on that chain, but we are instantly gonna have like crucial flagship products. And what I also it's a decision that we hang around Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Shido Chain. And, we use the Ethereum virtual machine, and we use Solidity as program language, because if we would try to be cool and come with something else, yeah, it can be nerdy cool, but you gotta focus on adoption, because it will be so easy for developers to migrate a DApp from Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain onto Shido Chain. And we want to make it, because a lot of projects today, like let's say 1inch or whatever, it's pretty much standard you launch on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum, because it's so easy and both are fairly big. But it should be standard that you launch on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Shido Chain, because those three are going to become the three big ones. That's what we're working toward. But regarding transaction fee, I don't know, and the developers don't know either yet where we're gonna land. But we know it's gonna go fast with the preset that we have done. But we don't know exactly the figure at the moment. So that's because we are in early stage. Very early stage. So all those things, it will just become information flowing when we go forward.
Right. It makes all the sense in the world, because you would definitely want to leverage, your ability to have new developers come onto your into your ecosystem with a mutable programming logic that they wouldn't have to go ahead and adjust to. You want to use the one that's already in place, so you can go ahead and effectively compete with Ethereum blockchain and BSC. So I totally agree with that. That stance you're taking there. Another thing I would like to know is, could you explain to the community the significance and the impact of the liquidity pool burn that you just did recently?
Yeah, that's I understand it. For many people, they don't really understand how important that move actually is, because when you provide funds or tokens to the liquidity pool, you just lend your money out, and then in return you receive a ticket to just take it back again. So I mean, it's kind of still yours if you hold the ticket, but if you burn that ticket, then there is no access no more. Then that liquidity is in there forever. And what we had locked up that ticket for 100 years. But what we could see now when there was an exploit on Team Finance is that even though, let's say another coin like Suka, they had their liquidity totally locked, but there was an exploit and they were able to drain the whole liquidity even if it was locked. So and that door we have absolutely closed now, because now we have thrown the liquidity tokens, our tickets, to get our liquidity back in a dead wallet, so no one will ever be able to access our liquidity pool. And that's as secure as it gets, because even if you lock up your pools, there's still a risk that someone can access it and exploit the hacker group or whatever. But now we burned it forever, all LP tokens that we had, and that is I feel that it's a statement, and it really show what we are about, and that we're here to stay for the long haul. So yeah, that was it just made sense, It didn't actually make sense to lock it 100 years. It would have made more sense to burn it, but now we have burnt it anyway, so now that is done also.
Right. I believe both statements were pretty provocative, but going that direction to me is the final end game for that. So I think that was huge. My final question is really more about the wallet. If you could just maybe provide a little light on what the 1.1 update is going to encompass in terms of what we can expect, and will we finally have the full integration of all tokens to be swapped within the wallet on BSC and Ethereum side?
Yeah, that's the main thing I told the devs. That's the first thing that's going to get integrated, that we will in the swap in the swap section. There you're going to have not a different aggregator that you can access all tokens, but we will have Uniswap and PancakeSwap in there in the alternatives. So the alternatives become Fiat, Crosschain, Uniswap, and PancakeSwap, and then you basically I think we might add SushiSwap also, actually, and then you easily can trade most likely everything you are looking for, and that is an important update. Then there is a lot of small fixes done, and that list is actually quite long. It things like when you create a new wallet, Shido, ERC20, and BEP20 will be there as a default. Because it's Shido wallet, it's Shido ecosystem, things like that. There's a lot of these small changes that is actually quite significant. Also in the DeFi section, when there was a lot of rubbish links that I see that no one accessed these links. I need to reorder this. I need to prioritize this. I need to research what the hell is the most important links and put them up in the top, so it all makes sense. Also, it's things like that, constant improvement. And in the cross-chain swap also, so you could see the dollar value that you couldn't see the dollar value. You couldn't search in the drop down for the tokens. There is you couldn't you couldn't put in a percentage of if you want just half or 25%, 50. That was also missing. There's a long list of these things that just makes the whole wallet just better and makes sense. So there's a long list of these things. And first up, the DEX integration, which I think is important. Then there's more things. They're going to come. Biometric captcha is going to come in it. There's going to come the Wallet Connect portal going to come in properly. And that is quite a big integration. So that's going to come also. And then we have, what else do we have? OpenSea integration, that takes longer time. The chains, we have, because we have one dev team for the wallet, and we don't want to add any more new devs, and we let them work. So whatever they work with, it cannot be something parallel to that. So they just keep working full time, that team. So then we just put in priority what they should do now. So that means like for next chain that can get integrated, which will be Solana, that will come after a couple of things we are doing now. So because the most important now is to make it as good as it gets for Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, not adding Phantom. You know what I mean? So these things are going to come. And then most notably and most important is that when we have the setup ready for Shido Card, Visa, then the devs is going to get onto that integration. And that's going to be now in November. So they're going to, whatever they are doing, they're going to get on that. So yeah, and the thing is, now it has almost become like, when do you launch V1? But when I have spoken to the devs now, they are more, what's gonna happen more or less is like when one integration is done, then we just push another update up instead of waiting. So there's gonna be a couple more pushes up, and then there's gonna be a final one when we say it's V1. But we will announce like, okay, hey, go into Google Play and hit the update button, because now things have happened. And then people will ask, is this V1? Yeah, it's kind of V1, but it's just that this is done now, so you can get it. Because I don't want to hold, because V1, that is actually a lot of things. But I don't want to. I don't like to hold it in longer than necessary, actually. But on Monday, we're pushing another update up to the stores. On Monday morning, it's going to be super early. So because the devs are up in like 5 a.m. for some reason. So that's going to come. Yeah, that was a little bit messy answer, but
no, you were totally fine. Totally fine.
Perfect.
Go ahead, Ardo. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're all right, my man. I have one more question, and you can answer this any way you can, and it's because it's a pretty aggressive question. Is there a possibility that you could see where the token supply could go down, even maybe potentially above 50% than what the supply is right now in the future? You don't have to say when, and you don't have to say how you're going to do it, but is there a potentiality for that to happen from your point of view?
With an automatic burn. Let's say our decentralized exchange become really big. The volume that would be daily, it will be massive. And if we have an automatic burn of 0.05 of the transaction fee, that will be a hell of a lot of tokens every day. And then it will just shrink. So that absolutely possible. Mathematically, absolutely. But that depends on solely depends on the volume. But when I'm looking at what we are building, it's just like I don't feel like there's nothing out there that is that is as good as what we are putting out there. And I think we are fairly good at branding and pushing and be active, because these big projects like 1inch and things like that, it's not like really personal. It's more like a big corporation. But we go on like talking to people eye to eye, and you understand this. So I feel like there can be a high adoption, because if a project like us continue to work as we do, but we'll have really tier 1 products, then it will take off pretty fast. That I can tell you, because we have basically there's no influencer that don't want to work with us. It's just, we can just pick and choose, but it's it's about funds. But if we go up in market cap and have a completely different volume and have a completely different budget to work with, then we will do so many things. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm very optimistic about the future, without being a moon boy, because I'm a left-handed logician. So I tend to try and be realistic all the time.
As am I.
Yeah.
I see this project with you guys. Like I said it in the chat the other day. I think you guys, with the announcement of Shido Chain and everything that you're doing with the wallet, which I consider to be an inclusionary financial measure that's going to allow other countries that are a little bit disenfranchised with being able to get money into crypto, have that final ability to get in fiat and just come into the space and be able to do all the things that people like myself and Valhalla and you have been able to do for the last several years for the first time. And then you throw a blockchain into all that. I think what this project has done is take the next step from becoming a blue chip token to potentially becoming a cornerstone token of crypto, to where you can't even mention crypto without talking about this ecosystem, because it will be responsible for doing some of the many, if not all, the duties in crypto in one contained ecosystem, where you wouldn't even have to leave. You wouldn't have to go off the Shido chain or the wallet to be able to facilitate your needs. So
yeah, and
that's that too. I have in regards to the token supply. When Shido chain goes live, will the tokens themselves naturally have a bridge over to there, or will there have to be some sort of a wormhole, or how would that work with getting the tokens onto the chain?
I'm not. There will be a migration where you can migrate it onto the chain. It was, Binance had the same. Binance launched Binance Chain first, and they had the DEX on the chain, but it was didn't have all the attributes needed. So then they launched Binance Smart Chain, but they had BNB back then, and then they migrated the BNB over to Binance Smart Chain. I can tell you now, I have not looked in 100% exactly how that migration will practically, how it will occur, but there will be a migration for sure, but that means also that potentially you don't have to migrate. Also, I mean, it's your tokens. You can still have them on Ethereum. But most likely everybody will migrate onto the chain, definitely. But the smart contracts on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum, they will be there forever. And those ERC20 and BEP20 tokens will be there forever. And then you can bridge them and wrap and use them on Shido chain, or you will be able to migrate onto the chain. So, but the thing is, as with several things, I wrote actually a section now just tonight on the website, and more info on kind of all parts in the text I wrote there will just come the nearest weeks, nearest months, basically. But what I want to say though, that is important for the scope of work and the development. With what is bullish, it may sound like a long time, but we will be able to launch, on the first half of 2023. And then I take saying that I put on extra time there, because it's a big build, but it can potentially go smoothly also, and then it can go relatively fast to get things going. But it depends how much, if you want to launch the mainnet and then you don't have the bridge ready, it depends on how you will go about. But for the migration, I will come back to you about that, how exactly it's gonna occur and how we're gonna go about it. And so more to come there, to be announced.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that was a great answer. So that's all I pretty much have for you. Thank you, BJORN. Appreciate it. I pass it back to you, Bahal.
Thank you, Arno. Very good questions. Thank you.
Thanks for passing it back over. I actually want to follow and touch on the one that you just mentioned on migration. So basically, my understanding, we're going to move everything to the Shido chain. So pulling from the Shido chain, not the BNB or the Ethereum, but those two contracts will remain. Now, would there be a price difference if you did not migrate to the Shido chain, or how exactly would that? And I know you probably can't answer all those specifics at this exact point, but would it be pretty much the way it is right now, but you'd be able to remain on either ETH or BNB or on the Shido chain? Is that kind of how that is going to break down, or?
I mean, the price. Say you have a BSC token. I mean, the price of that token. I mean, it depends on the price on BabyDo swap, SafeMove swap, and Pancake swap. I mean, that's what you can. That's what you can use. That's the sources you have to get BNB for it, and so it depends on those pools, and will always depend on those pools. And if you migrate to the chain as a Shido, wrapped Shido, the value of that wrapped token will be pegged to the original token. So there will be for the wrap token, there will be no new values coming in the picture. It will be pegged to the previous one. So that's how it will be with your BEP20, and the other way around with the ERC20, it will be to the Uniswap. But then again, you can go on a centralized exchange, and there you have peer-to-peer orders. So there it depends on if there's another dude what he want to buy for, So it's a difficult question. I'm not 100% sure, but with your tokens, that's that's how it is. If you have a BEP20 and ERC20, and if you want to exchange that for ETH or BNB, that's the options you have. And then when you migrate, I'm not 100% sure actually. I gotta look into that even more, how that
No worries. I just, whenever the word migration comes up, a lot of people are going to have questions on, do I absolutely have to migrate to? How does that work? And so that was more kind of my curiosity. It's not a forced migration. It's an optional to migrate to the chain if you choose to, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like this happens every other day in crypto. It's a big one-time event and then never again. So, but I gonna look into it more, the exact technical details and all the implications and what it gonna mean. And then that I will do it pretty soon. Actually, dive into it even more.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I wanted to have you touch on this one real quick. We had a question from a viewer, Dennis Corbanto said, Bjorn, what can we expect this November? Can you kind of give a little bit of just kind of a recap of what we know, and then if there's anything additional coming in November that you'd like to announce or talk about, that is within reason, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, what we know for certain is there's going to be a massive launch of Shido Exchange, and that's going to be huge. And it will, it will be massive. It will be liquidity protocol, aggregation protocol, or limit protocol. So it will be everything, but not the perpetual platform, because that will come in December. So that will be a massive. And then we have the Shido card, Visa and MasterCard, and it's basically more requests on that and than the exchange, because it's a unique thing and very rare in DeFi, and we get emails all the time when it's coming and things like that. So that's also we know, and that's going to be huge. What we don't know, and that could be a surprise, is that the P2E game and the P2E platform has come on very fast. So we could actually launch that also. And it's we have so much to show, so much material. That's kind of a little bit different. That's more, could say, more or less in the entertainment area. And but it's gonna get weirdly enough, I get notifications for all subscribers to our newsletters, and basically get so many subscribers on Shido Games for some reason. So we have a huge email list there, and so there seems to be an interest for it, and how it's gonna unfold. So that can be a surprise in November, definitely. There will be centralized exchange, and so that will be to be announced also. That gonna come. There will be drops with the wallet. Gonna come also. Most likely, we're gonna drop a crazy neat interface for the perpetual platform. That's gonna be bullish as hell. We're gonna be able to show sneak peeks of Chrome extension also, and that's also gonna light things up. So it's gonna be a lot of these things that gonna be dropped and announced. That's gonna be super cool. And I love dropping, interfaces, because that's basically what, when I'm talking about things under the hood. Yeah, sounds good, Bjorn, but there's nothing, no anyone see anyway. But interface, then you get hands-on, what's gonna be in front of you and what you're gonna use, and things like that. So yeah, it's gonna be some things actually that's not on the roadmap as a date.
Awesome. No, I'm excited for November. I know we got a lot planned, and I'm sure there's more that we don't know coming. Going with November. Now, I know you mentioned at one point there was more marketing to come. There was a massive marketing push coming with the launch of the DEX. Is that still on the table, and is that about the same time frame that the DEX is launching, that we are going to see that big marketing push to really push that further out to the consumers?
Yeah, we have actually held back a bit, because we had a huge push that was basically gonna occur when we hit App Store, and we have not really done it, but we have still pushed. You can see that we have activity on Twitter and kind of a constant flow, but not its flow when everything is bam at the same time. But that will definitely come with the exchange. Then it will be a huge bang in that department. But when App Store hits, it should be after the weekend now, and then there will come a kind of big push also. And I'm confident in what we have lined up with the marketing, because we have a really big network, and we have good contacts, and we have good relationships, it's so easy for us to get things going, and so I'm really happy how we have set up with all that, actually.
Awesome. One last area I'd like you to touch on, and then I think we're going to hit some community questions because we have quite a few that are brewing down there. In the AMA with Binance Live, which, by the way, for anyone, if you have not watched the AMA, there was 11.5 thousand viewers on this AMA. You guys need to definitely take some time and watch the replay. It is in our Telegram chat. It's all over social media. Also, please do me a personal favor and Arno a favor here, and like, share, and tweet that on every social media platform that there is out there. We need to get that out there with everyone to understand what Shido is developing, especially with the blockchain. Arno, you unmuted. Did you have something you wanted to add to that real quick?
Yes. Also, please, people, on every single tweet, make sure you're adding Shido Finance, the website. That means so much, because if you can drive people to the website and they can get the actual, as Bjorn was talking about, it's one thing to have something and say it, but what does it mean when you have details behind it that you can back up your premise? That's the importance of sharing, not getting, we want to capture the enthusiasm while getting the education out there. I guess a little bit of E&E. I'm always coining phrases. Get a little E&E in there. Enthusiasm and an education piece. So if you guys can keep doing that, that'd be great.
Yeah, and what I did now, because they sent me the MP4 file of the whole AMA, so I uploaded it now on YouTube. So it's up there, and that's something that is also possible to share. When I put together, because I put together, I prepared for that one. I felt the pressure, so I tried to put together the most important parts, that I want to put out there, like best of the best segment, kind of. So I hope you liked it, and it, for a potential investor, I feel like if you listen to that 40 or 45 minutes or what it was, you pretty much get all the information you need. So it's a good one to share. You're absolutely right. And the website also, because on the website you have basically everything.
I went ahead and sorry, Arno, give me 1 second. I went ahead and found that on our official Facebook page. I've shared it in the comment section down below. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that, please, after this AMA concludes, click on that link, give that AMA a very thorough watch, because a lot of knowledge and informative bombs were dropped, and I want to make sure that it gets out there to everybody. Arno, go ahead.
Also, yeah, that too. I wanted to also say, yeah, well said, Bjorn. Well said, Valhalla. Also, too, let's share the Shido chain, a link that was just posted in our Shido chat. I've already made a tweet about it. If you guys can go there and go ahead and like and share that, that'd be great. And make your own. Get that out there, because that information is beyond bullish. To anybody that understands blockchain technology, someone tells you they're getting ready to make a blockchain, you kind of want to take notice of that. And the more we can get awareness about that, that's going to be hyper bullish. So I think those things, we should talk about the website, we should talk about the wallet, and we should talk about Shido chain announcement and share any and all pertinent information to those points. In lieu of the enthusiastic wind, moon, and all that stuff. That's cool too. Let's make sure we're getting the information out there alongside of all the hype and the enthusiasm.
Yeah, but because I have been, I have looked, at all pros and cons with Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and then you see, the cons that Binance Smart Chain, yeah, it is too centralized. Why is it too centralized? And what could we do to make it more decentralized? Why is Ethereum more secure than Binance Smart Chain? How can we, maintain the speed but become a little bit more secure? And then we want to put all this together and get like the perfect mix, because it's become like, okay, Ethereum is secure than Binance Smart Chain, but it's way much slower, and it's too slow that it's worth the security. But then you have Binance Smart Chain that is an extreme on the other way, and way too centralized than it has to be. So we are doing a tweak of that and do it Shido steps in and have some authority, but that's just to make sure it's secure and reliable, the chain. But we make that authority as decentralized as possible. So we try to, I really try to build it as smart as as possible, and because we're gonna need to answer for everything regarding the blockchain, because how people are, they're gonna get on you about everything. So you better damn know what you're doing. But we do that, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be crazy good.
Well, I love to hear that, Bjorn. And then speaking on behalf of the blockchain, let's talk a little bit about the incubator. So one of the things you spoke about on Binance Live was the incubator that's coming and the potential rewards for those. And I know you said you've taken snapshots on the holders. So again, everybody, listen closely to what Bjorn says here, as snapshots have been taken. So if you don't sell your Shido at this point on, it sounds like there's going to be some rewards for the holders. I'd love for you to hit the incubator and what that's going to do for the Shido DEX, and then talk about that reward system, if you would, sir.
Yeah, exactly. We are taking snapshots now. We've done it after the AMA, and we're going to continue to, I think we're going to do weekly snapshots. And if you continue to hold, you will get a significant airdrop, and that will be worth a lot of money. And and the incubator, I'm very happy we have Hans there from House of Capital. He has designed it, and for the first, what we have set out now is for the first decentralized exchange, Launchpad and Oracle, that will launch. We will airdrop to current holders of Shido, to product users, and the significant contributors that really significantly have stepped in to make things happen, and that is a huge incentive, and the incentive is towards yes, current holders, basically saying if you hold until the chain, you will be heavily rewarded, because you will. And we just say that, and we're gonna do it. And it's not not that should be the reason to hold, but it's an extra incentive. And it also shows that we care for the ones that's here now in the microcap grind. We care about you, and we snapshot, and we know who you are, and we never forget it, and you're gonna get rewarded for it. So it's a statement. It's a caring statement, so it's all that, and we want to get that out there, because it will be worth the wait. And now we're saying it's damn sure it will be worth the wait, and also for the it's about getting a kickstart, for the other projects that want to get on and launch on Shido chain and put in money to it and effort and things like that. We will reward them for doing that, and they will be airdropped. And also for contributors that make things happen, that greatly benefits Shido chain and Shido project and the current Shido holders also. So it's a little bit one hand versus the other, so that, but it's going to come much more info about this, but we wanted to get it out now early, because it's extremely bullish, and there's going to be more to that. But what we have said now is, but we're going to add to it, so there's going to be more things coming on that. But for you, the current holders, we have snapshot you, so so that is very bullish. Yeah,
very awesome.
There was a little bit confusion about it, and a lot of questions arised. I hope I answered some of it now. for those
Yeah,
who
no, very, very, very great response, Bjorn. And again, just more incentive. If we don't already have incentive to hold this coin, I mean, if you've done the research, you've read the white paper, you understand that you're on the ground level of a project building a blockchain that is completely focused around DeFi and finance and literally putting the keys to the control of your complete finances in your hands, not into a bank, a credit union, or anyone else, then you're already in the project and you're here to stay. But this gives it that one more level of really, like you said, the intention of care of showing, hey, we're snapshotting and we're going to take care of you for taking care of the project. So that is amazing. Love to hear that. I want to swap over to some community questions because there's quite a few of them. One, Bjorn, I know you're going to get tired of hearing this one, but it is still coming up in the community, so I'd like for you to address it live tonight. It is about the NFTs. I know that we are still working to get the Shido passes out to everybody. Do we?
Oh,
I
yeah,
already saw it.
yeah. No, I'm not tired of myself
No,
because
you're
they are
good.
not sent out, but it's I don't know how many I have left. There's a
Yeah.
list and there's addresses on them, and there is a notepad that is on my desktop here. And I have just kept sending, and I actually have the people that have DM'd me, I have sent to them, I put them first in the line, and I've just kept sending. But it's just this week has been completely crazy.
Yeah.
Meetings from left to right, and AMA and this and that. Because when I'm gonna send one NFT, then I do a first transaction and I mint it, and it takes some time, and this take a minute for it to be minted and things like that, and then I have to wait till it pops up this, and then I'm gonna do another transaction for transfer, and then you end up with 5-7 minutes for the whole thing, and then when you take that times a couple of hundred, then it's so many hours. It has just taken way too much time, but people might have seen that actually some have gotten, so it's not like this whole thing is made up. They are coming and I have them, so I'm just really sorry because it's not acceptable. This is a competition that was for fucking month ago, and it's not settled. But everything else is settled. It's just this one that I'm kind of embarrassed of by now. So now it's highest priority to just get them out there. I'm gonna do it. After this, I'm gonna send some also.
Well, Bjorn, don't be embarrassed. Everybody in the community will tell you one thing is we prioritize what's important in Shido, and you being on these very bullish AMAs, you working these meetings, you getting the blockchain development going, the DEX, the wallet push, constantly hounding Apple to get Apple out of test flight and on the iOS store. Those things the community I know cherishes more than the Shido Pass. I think it was more of just a general want to know that they've been heard and want to know that they're coming. For anyone that is listening to this AMA tonight, I'm going to ask you to do me a personal favor, and that is to send Bjorn a message in Telegram. If he doesn't respond to you, he's gotten your message. He's just very busy. Please send him a message. I'm assuming you want their wallet address in that message, and hey, I am deserving of an NFT. Send that to him tonight, please, if you can. It sounds like after this AMA, he's going to start working on those, and we'll get them rolled out to you guys. So just a little bit of patience and understanding.
Yeah, because I have all wallets, so it's not that. But if someone sent to me, because some people, they are like, yeah, take your time, Bjorn. It doesn't matter if it comes next year. And but some people want it now, and then you can just send it to me, and I take you first, and take you off the list here. So I can definitely do that. So just send me.
Perfect. We're gonna dive right into questions because I want to respect your time tonight too, and I know it's getting late for you, and it sounds like you've got a little bit of a later night ahead of you. So, first one up we have is from P. Question: do we have any plans to make our logo more professional? I'm gonna let you tackle that.
Yeah, and it was up for discussion now in Telegram, and I responded to a guy about it also. But I have also gotten, hints about it in my direct messages. A couple of callers just say like, "Hey, you should update it," and things like that. They say it politely, but they mean like, change the logo, gotta. But I have thought about it a lot actually, and someone mentioned Saitama. That they did it, and then someone else said like, "Hey, but they tanked after they did it." But that was not because of the logo; it's because of other things. But I think actually they were onto something with their logo update, because it's more or less in that direction I've been thinking. Some people might, because now we have a very cartoonish and figurative logo, not childish, but very meme, and some people want a plain abstract logo. Then we are talking like FTX, Binance, and things like that, where it's just 3 squares or something. But I'm more in the area that it could be more abstract and corporate, but it could still be cool, and you could potentially still see like it's a ninja, but it could be much more abstract, so you get still best of both worlds. It doesn't have to be super abstract where it's just you don't know what it is.
Fair enough.
But what I think we should do, that's the important. I think we should vote upon it. I think we should put forward 3 new logos and the current logos, and then you have 4 options, and you have the current logo as an option also. And then the community vote what they like to have the most, and then we do that. If we can do it in a good way, I don't know if you can send a boot on that poll and then it all gets ruined, but that's what I think we should do, because then everybody get their saying, and yeah, as long as we give 4 good alternatives, of course, to choose between.
Well, I think a good way to handle that, Bjorn, would just be a Twitter poll with four graphics, and then A, B, C, D, and then have everyone cast their vote on that. Make it however many hours you want that poll to run for, and just see what the community thinks on the designs. But Arno, it looks like you had some input for that, so go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I had an idea for our logo, and it doesn't have to go this way, but I was always thinking that maybe we should take a nautical approach. Like, take the world view, zoom it out, and then put Shido Finance over it with maybe we can go with maybe a Roman theme where you have columns on the side of the name, or some type of a gold italics with it, or something that's really official that shows what this project to me what it represents. That's an inclusionary. It's opening up world finance and to people who really don't have an opportunity to get in here into crypto, like something that's official while at the same time being exciting. That's what my suggestion.
Yeah, I hear you.
Mhm.
Definitely. No, we should, you can sit and Google, things and search, and you can sit on Shutterstock where there's millions of things, and then you can buy the rights for something, or you could hire some people, some different people, and make them do something. But I'm gonna get some people. I know some. I have actually been in one e-commerce project I was in before, and built up with a few other people. Turned out quite big, but then we were building up with worldwide distribution, a poster shop, and then we had. And then we worked with a lot of agencies, illustration agencies, and things like that. And so I know the biggest agencies, and we could get some really unique and cool stuff from proper people. So the thing is, I noticed that there is a demand for this, and there's and people would like to maybe have a change. So we will make something happen with this. That's a promise, and we should do it fairly fast. Also, it's nothing to wait about, really.
Awesome. I love it. I have another question here from Mark or me, and he says, "What do you think your business practices will look like after this trend becomes the next big thing? How will you implement a customer care team, etc.? And will you have a board? I'm assuming like a board of directors is what he's asking there."
Yeah, right. Um, yeah, we need to build some sort of organization if it grows, definitely. That will be a must. Mm, we need to have uh, we need to do all things that need. We need to get Zendesk, and we need to get support people on that. That has the right knowledge. They will need to. There will be need wallet support. We need to have exchange support, and we also need to have some sort of decision making at the top, and we need to build an organization around it as it grows. It has not been, now we have the team and the core team, and that works like a little management board, in team chat, where we discuss things and we have voice calls and things like that. But as it grows, we need to step up on all those departments, definitely. But I know how to go about most of those things. So I have never seen. I have in my head. It's not like how we're going to do it. I know more or less how we will do it, and so it will happen when we grow bigger. It will come naturally because we will feel like, hey, we need this, and then we fix it. Hey, we need to go about this with this stuff, and then we will fix that. So it should come. But we have a company that we are incorporated. Otherwise, we couldn't do all things. We cannot have an account at Amazon Web Services. We cannot do KYBs. Know your business, because you have KYC and then you have KYB, and we do KYB all the time with the new partners. With VAT number and all that. So we have a full business, of course. Yeah, but did I answer?
No. Yeah, good answer. You were good. You were spot on there. I have another one for the gaming side. DeFi Mike wants to know, will the Ninja NFTs play a part in the upcoming game?
Yeah. Me and Bacco talked about it because he is in charge of the whole gaming thing, with the whole game, and we have a plan for them. They will be part of the game. They're gonna give you some advantages, actually, to have the NFTs. So yes, they will, but it will be a surprise because we are still working on all those details. About the game. There's a lot of details we're working on, how we're going to be with tournaments, and you're going to be able to bet and bet also, and you're going to be able to put up money and and fight for the pot, and it's going to be a lot of things with that fighting game. So it's yes, they will play a part, but more info will come.
Awesome. Shadow Queen had a quick question. She wants to know if the snapshots will just be sells, or will they also include transfers to other exchanges? So if one was to transfer some Shadow to an exchange and not sell on DeFi, would that affect the rewards on the incubator?
The snap. I mean, now we have taken an extract of the holders list. You pull out an Excel list of the current holders, and then we go to the staking contract, and then we pull out all wallets there also, because they don't show on the scan sites. So we are, yeah, we we are just getting all current holders that holds, and we also see, of course, the amount of token they hold, and so I don't really know what you sell on the exchange. I mean, then you wouldn't. What do you mean if you leave Shido and sell all your tokens, or?
No, I think she meant like because the question was if somebody was to move like let's say $100 from their DeFi wallet to an exchange and sell it on the exchange, not to hurt the DeFi chart, but they made a transfer to an exchange and then did sell 100 or whatever it might be on an exchange, but they're still a holder in Shido, would they still qualify for the rewards? I think that is more the question. The generalized question is, can you not sell a single Shido token, or can you sell a token but still be a holder and still qualify for the reward?
Yeah. Then you will still qualify. Yeah.
Okay, so as long as you're an existing holder at that time, you will still qualify for rewards.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. No, that's perfect, and that's very fair. As long as if you got to sell for something comes up, you need a few $100, it's not going to disqualify you from the reward system when that comes. So that is very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Let me ask you that. Does that go for future transactions? I was going to clear this up for people who may be listening. So that only applies to people before the snapshot. After the snapshot, any and all transactions will disqualify you from the incubation.
I mean, if you what transaction do you mean?
The way Teach was describing, like if she was to go ahead from now after the snapshot, and then was to transfer tokens to an exchange, would that disqualify her from future from the incubation?
No, it would not.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to clarify that for the people out there watching.
Yeah, as long as you're still holding Shido, you qualify. So we're good there. Looks like we got that one.
Exactly. That's the thing. If you're still holding, then you qualify. No doubt about it.
Right.
That's the main point to point out.
All right, we have another one here. Paul Cruzet, I think. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, sir. Any updates from Apple? You did answer this one earlier. You said that you feel like we're going to have something the beginning of the week. Was that correct?
Because I was talking to Apple earlier this week, and then they said, Bjorn, it's got to come now at the end of the week, because they were then looking at because there are some other projects that has pushed apps, and looking at their waiting time, it should have come now the end of this week. So that was Apple said, and that's why. But then they said again, and it also depends on our volume. So with what they were hinting about would implicate should be Monday, Tuesday. So that's what they kind of hinted to me. Fingers crossed.
No worries at all. And Rag asks, will Shadow Wallet have a browser option inside the wallet?
It has. It's you press on DeFi, and then there is a search bar, and that search bar is the browser's URL bar. So you just type an URL there, and you come automatically into the Web3 browser. So
Perfect.
Yes, it has an option.
Perfect.
That bar could potentially set. It could be URL. It could say there, because it's not really clear, actually, when I'm thinking about it.
That's not a bad call to put URL in there, so people know that is that search bar. DeFi Mike, will the NFTs be moved onto Shido Chain as well? Can we mint new NFTs on Shido Chain? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Potentially they could migrate onto the chain. I mean, it's an ERC 721 token, and I'm gonna look into that actually, how it will be with non-fungible tokens, if what types we can migrate on. But yeah, I'll have to look into that.
No worries.
I hadn't come that far actually.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, when you get a good answer for us, you let us know. No pressure at all. Keith R said he's concerned about the slowness of the wallet. I am sure I don't have the Wi-Fi speed problem. Like to know if this is being worked on. Keith, I would ask you to please join the wallet discussions Telegram group and put this in there, so that if there is a connectivity issue, they can definitely get the developers to look at that. But Bjorn, to your knowledge, is there any reports of slowness on the wallet from other users?
That's actually no. It's not been like a common complaint that, like, hey, it's a little bit slow. It's basically no one has said that. But what I can do, I can check how we can optimize it and get it faster. That I can surely do, with the database and all. If there's something we can do to speed it up, definitely. But yeah, get in the group, and because that's more of a, it's not only the wallet, it's a backend group. It's all kinds of things, and so get in that group, and everybody from team is in there, and we can you can take your problem more specifically in that group. If there is a certain page maybe, or is it in general the whole wallet, and things like that. Because when I flip around, it could potentially be a loading time on one page, but then we know that, okay, that's that page. Then we look into that page. But if you swap between these pages, no problem. So the question now is quite general. So if we can bring it down a bit in the wallet group, it would be much better to take it from there.
Arna, looks like you might have had a question there.
Not a question, just a statement, okay, just to go ahead and add some validity to what Bjorn is saying. And this is going to be funny. I know this. I have some of the worst internet known to man. And let me tell you, when I use Shido Wallet, I have no problems with speed. It's actually one of the most effective apps I have on my phone, despite all my efficiencies I have on my phone and my poor internet. So if sometimes, I remember Bjorn knows this, I had a little problem with the interface in terms of getting it to show the dial pad. I had to go into my phone and readjust my settings to be able to have that be more optimized. So sometimes it's really just your phone needing to adjust to some of the settings in there. Maybe you have an older model, or maybe maybe you have to go in there and just play around with it a little bit. But even with all of the efficiencies I have, the Shido wallet works beautifully for me. And I'm dealing with some of the worst internet you can possibly imagine. So that's just to give you guys a little bit of transparency on my end.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that, Arna.
Yeah, there's from some people that have had another type of setting. There has been on some pages some responsive problem where a certain button has come below something else, and that they are fixing that because they are running it with all settings and make sure it's totally fine on whatever setting you have. So that is something that's getting fixed. I know people are wondered about that, but so you know that now.
Awesome. We have another one here from Sit Back and Chillax. He asks, are the incubating rewards going to be monthly or weekly?
No, I mean, as the plan has been now, there will be a significant airdrop. That will be. But if it's going to be several, or you're going to divide them up, not decided yet. I know Hans is designing, because he he's a master at these things, and he's designing how the incubation gonna be and how it's gonna take place. But he was very keen, and me too, that we get it out first, that we're gonna do it, because it's an important statement. But more on the exact details, it will come. It will come.
Perfect. Shadow Queen actually has a question for us. She says, is there any way that the admins can help you with the NFT delivery to maybe help take some of that load off your shoulders?
Yeah, I actually thought about it in my head when I said I was going to start to send, because I know Einar, he has offered to do it. So my plan actually is to send him a DM after this, and we set it up so he can do it. Is actually my plan. But
well,
so
if you need any help, we are here for you, BJORN. So we're only a DM away. Just let us know if there's something we can do to help you, and we will help you get that taken care of.
Thank you.
Elder asks, how will we attract people and devs to develop D apps on the Shido chain and not on the Ethereum chain?
That's a very good question. I mean, what we will try to do, I mean, first of all, there will be an incentive with the incubator to come on, and they will be rewarded to come on Shido chain. But we will try to encourage migration, so it's not like they're gonna come on and code something from scratch. Why would they do that on Shido chain when they can do it on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum? That's gonna be hard to convince them. Then we basically need to pay them. But we will try go all in and get on people to migrate, their existing D app that might be deployed on either Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, or both. So they easily, and we can help them with that also. If they're like, we don't have time, we cannot do this and cannot do that, and then we help you. We contribute for you to come over, So this adoption, it is going to be, it's going to be just a constant work where we're going to get on action on Shido chain. That's for sure. And
awesome.
So that's
we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but it sounds like you guys have already got some bullish ideas on how to get people onto and utilizing the Shido chain. This one here, sit back and chillax. We've already kind of touched the NFTs. I'm going to ask you to DM BJORN.
Right.
Just
Also,
DM BJORN this message. Go ahead, Arna.
I mean, I know that guy. He's active in Tiki chat.
I was just going to go ahead and add to Elder too. Another one of the incentives would be the simple fact.
You're okay, Arno. Continue. We had a little lag.
I was just addressing Elder with one of the incentives. Obviously, I mean, the one that people tend to. Okay, it's cool. One of the incentives that people tend to miss is just the simple fact when you're coming onto a new blockchain, there's not as much congestion, and you're going to have priority to get your transactions through. That right there, it's going to be an incentive right there for people to want to build on Shido chain. So that's just something that people can put that in their back pocket too if we go forward.
Absolutely. Sorry, Arno. Looks like there's a little lag there, so apologize if we cut you off there. BJORN, go ahead. You were mentioning on sit back and chillax, the one we had at her.
No, I was just saying that I can send him a DM. I know that guy, so I can send him a DM and take it with him privately. But there is when we have Shido Exchange and we have a sick ass perpetual platform, and if people can basically just come on and trade perpetuals on Shido chain, because so you could ask like, hey, why should they come on Shido Chain? Yeah, for instance, they can come on and trade perpetuals on an awesome platform. So there's endless of things and reasons to come on and use Shido Chain. For sure, it's going to be.
Awesome. All right. We've got a couple more we're going to touch on here. Let's see here. We had from Jesse. I'm going to call you Jesse K. I don't want to destroy your last name. Will there be ICO platforms in Shido DEX?
Yeah. No, that we don't not planned at the moment. But if you thinking that the same as Launchpad, then that's something we are gonna give incentive to get a Launchpad on a good decent Launchpad on Shido Chain. That's very important, and that's something we gonna put effort in on doing. But for us to have a Launchpad or ICO platform, we have no plans of it as of now. But it could potentially be something we could consider doing. Absolutely. It's definitely something that would interest Shido Finance. Absolutely.
Awesome. We got one more here from Tro, sorry. Tro says, I have a question. I don't know if it is technically possible, but is it possible to make withdrawals from staking directly into currency, dollars, euro, and I'm not sure the center when they're in the future? He says it can encourage more people to hold Shido.
Yeah.
Any input on that?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Just make it more simple. You're gonna get rewards in Shido, but you want to get it in a fiat instead, or maybe a stable coin. Yeah, I mean, with these sorts of things, anything is possible. The question is there a demand for it to make that type of function? Yeah, but it would definitely be technical possible. But we don't have. It's not something that's going to be up on launch for the liquidity protocol on Shido Exchange. But it's something we could look at in the future for sure.
Okay, and then he had a second half. He said a sort of smart contract at the start of the staking for 30 days. Oh, so he's responding to staking rewards. So he's wondering that if they could do like a smart contract implementation at the start of the staking for 30 days, so it will automatically convert your staked Shido into currency and send it directly to your bank account. That's actually pretty ingenious.
Yeah, definitely. That would definitely be possible, I think. We can look into it because I know people, they want to live off staking, and then they most likely want, dollar or euro or something like that instead. More or less like, like the projects that has tokenomics, where you get, busty rewards and things like that. So it becomes more like that. You get rewarded in a stable or fiat. But you can look into it. It would be quite innovative actually.
All right, awesome. Looks like that does conclude all community questions. I hope I reached out to everybody, got everybody's questions answered. With that, I'd really like to respect your time, BJORN, tonight. So we're going to kind of move to closing statements and wrap out this AMA. I'm going to let you take the center stage first. Anything that you'd like to further just kind of get in on and make sure everything is cleared. If there's any questions, confusion that you feel you need to address or want to address, close us out.
I really think that Shido Chain, it makes sense. It kind of ties it together finally, because and we are that type of product that's gonna have a layer 1 blockchain. That's just written in the stars. And I'm happy that everybody just love it, and it surely will take us beyond next level. So we got some crazy months ahead of us, that I can tell you, because we are going full steam. So I'm just very optimistic, because we keep going, and it's bear market. Imagine if all of a sudden the volume 3, 4, 5 times higher in the markets. It will blow up if we have this buy pressure and things like that now. So no, I'm really happy about Shido Chain, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that's listening. And I saw we got a lot of questions. That means there is an interest and things like that. I really appreciate that. And yeah, so I want to thank you guys for having me on here. Really enjoy it. I think it's fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to November, because it's going to be full on action.
It is. Couple thoughts that I want to throw out there, and then I'll throw the final thoughts to Arno here. First of all, Bjorn, I'd love to have you back on if you are good for this. November 26th, we'll plan for the same time. Try to keep it in sync on the Saturday. That'll give us a good time to recap everything that's happened in November and kind of do exactly what we did here today, where we talk about the future, which is December, and then moving into 2023. So I'll get that scheduled and make sure that is set. For me, I just want to touch the hardline facts tonight. You guys are in an amazing project. You're in it early. Finance and crypto goes hand in hand, obviously. And this ecosystem unites the most novice investor to the most advanced investor with a ecosystem from perpetual lending to the capability to swap across multiple chains, to ease of access, to on and off ramps, to the Visa and MasterCard, giving you complete total control of your finances. There is nothing like this in the DeFi space. So, guys, I encourage you to continue, not financial advice of anything I ever say, but what I am doing is to continue and build my position with Shido, continue to support this amazing dev and this amazing team, and let's prepare for the bull run, because indicators are showing from Bitcoin, potentially January to February, we should start to see the beginnings. If there are no crazy outside influences, we should begin to see the beginnings of a bull run. And it is going to be the most epic bull run with Shido Finance. And I don't think a lot of people truly understand what is coming. So I'm super, super excited. This has been an amazing AMA. Bjorn, thank you so much for being my guest tonight on the show with my co-host, Arno. Arno, I'm going to give you the mic. I'd like you to close us out. Any final words, wisdom you'd like to share with the community, sir?
Yeah, first I want to go ahead and thank you, Bjorn, for the most exciting 48 hours I've had all week with these announcements. Truly, truly bullish with Shido Chain coming and all that entails. And I just can't say enough about this project. It's so refreshing to, one, be in a project with a dev this transparent, and more importantly, this dedicated to facts. You don't spend any time wasting with things that don't have anything to do with anything, or false narratives, or false over promising and never delivering, like some projects may do. And I just want to tell the community out there that it's important that we take the information that Bjorn gives us, because he's giving us all the information we need to share to make every single one of our tweets, messages, and posts matter. The information that he puts out in these AMAs are like golden nuggets. They sell themselves. All you need to do is just post what this man says. It'll do the work for us. Post the website, Shido Finance. Post pertinent information. Talk about Shido Chain, because it's a thing. It's coming. Provide links to the wallet. It's real. It's out there. It's hardware. It's not just a fantasy. The wallet exists. Let's put it out there. So everybody in the community just do their part, talk about the project, get the information about the project and support it, and the rest will pretty much take care of itself. I'm beyond bullish on this project. I have a little saying I've been saying recently, we're not going to be bullish. We're going rhino. We're gonna rhino this market coming up, going through a wall. So with that being said, I close it out and pass it back to you, Valhalla. And once again, Bjorn, thank you for your excellent expertise. And I look forward to what you have coming forward next, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, Bjorn, the community loves you, man. You know, you've got the community support, you've got this platform support. You got a great group of admins that are definitely there to help where it's needed. So you let us know what you need, and we got your back. We'll take care of you. Other than that, sir, I appreciate you joining me tonight. I want to respect your time. I know it is about, what, 12:39 your time in the morning. I'd like to let you go get some rest. You probably have a very busy day planned ahead of you. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign it off here. Thank you so much for being my guest tonight, Bjorn. Arno, we'll see you next Tuesday. And with Bjorn, we'll see him Saturday, November 26th at the same time.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right.
You got it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bjorn. Arno,
Thank
we'll
you.
see you Tuesday.
Thank
You guys have a wonderful night and take care.
Bye-bye.